Before diving into this incredible story, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, every story has something to say, and you won't want to miss a single one. In the hustle and bustle of a crowded supermarket, a white employee's gaze fell upon her. She was holding a basket full of groceries, smiling calmly, unaware of the judgment hanging over her. Her eyes were honest, but in this man's mind, a perverse idea took root: he would report her for theft. He already pictured her humiliated in front of the customers, her cheeks flushed with shame, her hands trembling, unable to defend herself. He wanted to belittle her, to put her at his mercy, just to feel the power he thought he possessed. But when he approached to accuse her, his words caught in his throat. The woman looked him straight in the eyes, with a serenity and dignity that unsettled him. And what he didn't know was that she wasn't just a customer. She was the supermarket owner, having carefully checked every aisle before moving incognito to monitor the staff. Silence fell like a guillotine. The customers turned towards him, astonishment etched on their faces. The employee felt the ground give way beneath his feet. The shame he had intended to inflict, he now felt himself, compounded by a humiliation beyond words. That day, he brutally understood that judging by skin color and trying to put someone down could backfire, in the most spectacular way possible. The afternoon sun filtered through the supermarket's large windows, illuminating the neatly arranged shelves. Jennifer Thompson, the owner, walked among the aisles, dressed casually in jeans and a t-shirt, her hair tied back in a ponytail. Few customers recognized her like this, and that was exactly how she wanted it, to observe the staff without drawing attention to herself. At the other end, Tom Reynolds, an employee of 3 years, swept the aisles with a smirk. He enjoyed feeling superior to the customers and colleagues he considered inferior. When his eyes met Jennifer's, he saw her as an ideal target. A black woman, alone, with a full shopping basket. In his mind, the scene was already playing out: she would be accused, humiliated, and he would be the hero of the moment. Without thinking, Tom approached her. "Excuse me, are you sure you paid for all of that?" he said, his accusatory tone full of contempt. Jennifer looked at him calmly, her calmness almost provocative. "Of course. Do you need me to show you the ticket?" Tom frowned, feigning authority. He immediately called the head of security, hoping the situation would escalate. But, to his surprise, the manager looked at him and said, "Tom, you know she's the owner. We don't treat customers like that." Tom's face flushed red. The customers around him began to murmur, some capturing the scene on their phones. The humiliation he had planned for Jennifer had backfired. Jennifer, still calm, gently placed her basket down and said, "It seems you need to learn a lesson about respect and not judging too quickly." That simple, dignified glance struck Tom like a punch. He felt tiny, each customer scrutinizing him with a mixture of surprise and reproach. His dream of dominance had just crumbled in an instant. That day, Tom didn't leave the supermarket as he had planned. He left with shame etched on his face and the certainty that underestimating someone because of their skin color could cost dearly, even for an employee who thought he was in control. Tom thought that after his embarrassment at the supermarket, he could simply hide and forget the incident. But Jennifer Thompson wasn't one to let disrespectful behavior slide, especially when it was tinged with racism. The next day, she made a decision that would change Tom's life. She called a staff meeting, announcing that she was aware of the incident. Her voice, firm but controlled, echoed through the room. "I will not tolerate any disrespect towards our customers. And even less so towards those who are wrongly judged. Tom, can you explain your behavior?" Taken aback, Tom tried to stammer out an apology, but each word seemed weaker than the last. The astonished and disapproving looks of his colleagues only deepened his shame. Jennifer then took out her phone and showed the video of the incident, captured by a customer. Tom, red with anger, accusing an innocent black woman while other customers looked on in shock. The video went viral within hours. Social media seized upon the story, and Tom quickly became a symbol of workplace arrogance and racism. But Jennifer hadn't just wanted to publicly humiliate Tom. She wanted him to understand the consequences of his actions and raise awareness among the entire team. She concluded the meeting with these words. Everyone here needs to understand that respect is non-negotiable. What you think you can do in private can have repercussions you can't even imagine. Tom, humiliated and powerless, realized he had lost far more than a moment of pride. His reputation, his credibility, and even the respect of his colleagues were destroyed. That day, he understood that his prejudices and arrogance had led him straight to his downfall. And Jennifer? She went back to her business, calm and dignified, knowing that she had just sent a clear message: no injustice would go unpunished, especially when it touches the souls of the innocent. After the public humiliation, Tom naively believed he could quietly recover. But reality quickly caught up with him. The video of his behavior at the supermarket was circulating widely on social media. His friends, family, and even his former colleagues watched him with astonishment and judgment. Each harsh comment and each share of the video only deepened his shame. At work, his colleagues avoided him. Some whispered behind his back, others confronted him openly. "Do you realize what you've done?" Tom lowered his eyes, unable to respond. The accusations and judgments had become a burden he could no longer ignore. But the downfall didn't end there. Jennifer, though calm and professional, didn't let anything slide. She summoned Tom to her office. "Tom, your attitude cannot be tolerated here. I'm giving you a choice: take a diversity and respect training course or leave the company permanently." Tom, humiliated and cornered, reluctantly agreed to the training. Each session was a cruel mirror reflecting his prejudices and stupidity back at him. He had to confront his own shortcomings, listen to stories of discrimination, and understand how much his actions had hurt. But the public hadn't forgotten. A former customer, who witnessed the scene, shared the video even more widely, and Tom found himself at the center of viral ridicule. Calls for a public apology multiplied. The reputation he thought was solid was now in ruins. It was at this moment that Tom began to realize a difficult truth: the humiliation he had intended to inflict on a black woman had irrevocably backfired. Every step he took to right his wrongs seemed too late, and the life lesson he was receiving was brutal but necessary. Jennifer, for her part, continued her life normally, running her supermarket with efficiency and dignity, knowing that a simple act of courage and justice could have far more powerful repercussions than any direct confrontation. Weeks passed, and Tom still felt the scars of his arrogance. Every time he walked through the supermarket doors, he felt the stares of the customers and staff, not so much contempt for him, but judgmental of what he had tried to do. Fear and shame held him in check, and he understood that no apology, no superficial gesture, could completely erase the damage he had caused. One morning, Jennifer called him into his office for one last conversation. Her expression was gentle, but her words were as sharp as glass. "Tom, you've been confronted with your mistakes. You felt the shame you wanted to inflict on someone innocent. It's a lesson many people never learn. But the real question is, what are you going to do now?" Tom lowered his eyes, unable to speak. He knew he had been judged, not just by Jennifer, but by society as a whole. He finally understood that respect wasn't optional and that judging someone for their skin color or appearance only led to personal ruin. Over time, he made real efforts to change, but the memory of his humiliation remained etched in his mind. Every customer he served, every colleague he encountered, reminded him of the importance of dignity and empathy. As for Jennifer, she continued to run her supermarket with elegance and intelligence, reinforcing the reputation of a place where respect and justice prevail over prejudice. What she had done for Tom was not just a personal correction, but an example for everyone. Injustice can backfire on those who perpetrate it, and dignity always has the final say. And so, what had begun as an attempt at humiliation had transformed into a universal lesson: underestimating or judging someone can cost far more than one imagines.